Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're talking automotive and we're specifically looking at paint and paint correction. We got a truck in the shop and it's got some okay paint. It's got a bit of a gloss to it, but it also has some scratches. So we want to show you a quick, simple, do-it-yourself at home video on how to take these scratches out of this paint. So in this case, we've got base coat, clear coat. I'll explain, there's a few different types of paint, but paint is paint. This is base coat, clear coat, where you have a base color layer and you have a clear coating on top. You've got single stage urethane and you've got lacquer paints on some older vehicles. What we're tackling today is repairing imperfections in the clear coat. So we got paint here with a decent gloss, but it does have imperfections. No matter how well you take care of your vehicle, the scratches are going to happen. But in this case, with clear coat, what you're seeing here, take a look at this red paint and notice that the scratch is showing up as almost a white or a light gray mark. That's an indication of a scratch you have in the clear coat. If it was through the clear coat and the base color, you're going to see gray primer. In this case, the scratches show up as white marks. So we've got a couple here, and we've also got a couple to deal with on this front fender, where you can see here that we've got a couple scratches as well that show up as white marks. So guys, first thing you want to do is determine how deep the scratch is, how far it goes, and the first thing you do is just take your fingernail and run it along the scratch. Now, if you can feel it and it stops your nail, you're dealing with a scratch that's through the clear coat, into the base layers, possibly down to the primer or metal. That's not something you're going to be able to fix with this quick process. Both of these marks and the one on the front fender, I can't feel anything with my nail. I mean, it slows it down, like it doesn't stop it. I'm not feeling a ridge. So we're dealing with something that is superficial rather than through all the layers. So what we're showing you today is how to do this process at home without all the expensive equipment and specialty pads. Normally, when you're doing paint correction and you're removing scratches and swirl marks and whatnot, you're going to be using a rotary buffer, you're going to be using wool pads, some combination of foam pads like these ones you see here, and you're going to be using different products to go through the stages of scratch removal. But today we're going to show you how to do it at home, and we're going to be talking about one specific product that I really like to do this kind of work, and that is the Farecla G3 paste compound. I'm going to put a link down below in the description where you can find this stuff. We've also got some detail spray. I'm going to show you how to use that, and we've got a couple of clean microfiber towels. You can use any sort of cotton terry towel, but microfiber is nice and soft. It's easy on the paint, and it's not going to put further scratches in your clear coat. So I'll just mention, guys, that we're going to put out another series of videos because this is a little bit of a longer process than just scratch removal. We're going to put out another video series where we go over a full paint correction, and I'm talking about swirl removal, oxidation, haze, tar, down to clean clear coat, cutting out the orange peel and the defects, and then polishing and sealing up that paint. But we'll save that for a future series. This is a quick how-to on remove these scratches. So step one is clean your surface off. Take your quick detailer, mist your area down that you're going to be working on, and this is going to take any watermarks, any rail dust off. Take your microfiber, wipe the area down, flip the cloth over to a dry side of the rag, and just polish that up. Now, one thing you'll notice is when you spray the scratches with water or with any sort of detail spray, you can tell they're in the clear because as soon as you get them wet, they literally disappear. So scratches are gone. Great. As soon as you wipe it dry and you clean your area off, scratches are back. So That's another telltale sign to tell when you're dealing with something that's in the clear. If it disappears when it's wet, it's superficial in the clear coat only. So that's step one. Okay, next step, grab your Farecla. The nice thing about this, and the reason why I'm talking about it and I'm using it for this demo, is that you can see it's a compound. Compound means it's aggressive, and that's what actually starts breaking down and polishing out the clear coat. When you take a scratch out of clear coat, you're literally removing just a finite amount of that material to get the scratch to disappear, and that's what the compound is for. The nice thing about this one is you're supposed to use it with a machine, but it's got the properties for doing it by hand with a cloth or a pad is that you put it on the surface and you work it in, and then you wet your pad or your cloth and you reapply it, and it actually breaks down the compound. So once it takes the scratch out of the clear, it polishes the clear, leaves you with a polished surface that you're ready to wax, rather than just being abrasive and leaving you with scratches you got to take out that you typically need a machine to do. So that's one thing I really like about this stuff. It's user-friendly. It's great to have in the garage to keep your vehicle looking brand new. That's the goal here. So let's get to this. So one other thing I'm going to share with you guys, just to give you a bit of understanding, I got a Ziploc bag here, and this actually represents clear coat. Clear coat can be anywhere from 2 to 3 mils to 8 mils thick. So if you take a Ziploc bag closed like this and you look at this film, this might help you put it into perspective. This is the shiny clear layer that you're working with, and this is what you have to work with. You don't want to be over aggressive on it. Do it in steps if you have to. Some scratches are tougher than others to get out, but you're dealing with a layer that is around this thickness. So I don't know if that helps, but I thought I'd show you that anyways. Okay, take your product, put about a dime size dab on your rag. I just like to sort of work it into the microfiber a bit. So you're left with something like that. Now you're going to apply this right on the clear, just with your rag, and what you're trying to do here is mimic a rotary buffer, mimic the orbit. So you're going to go around in small circles. You don't have to go crazy. You try and stay within the scratch area, but if you go over onto the rest of the paint and your area gets bigger, that's fine. You're just working on the area around the scratch, though, is what you want to focus on. I'm going to move up to the fender with what I've got left on my rag, and I'm going to get this one right here, just above the emblem. Again, this paint is reasonably decent, but it's scratches like this that they hurt, especially when you try and take care of your vehicle. So we're just going to work it in here and let the compound do the work, circular motions. So typically when you wax, what do? You let it haze, you let it dry up, and you wipe it off the surface. This stuff's a little bit different. This is a compound, we're trying to break it down. We've taken our compound and we've worked on our scratch, and we've worked it into the affected areas. Next, what you want to do is you want to start to break it down. So take your same cloth, dip it in a little bit of warm water, just so you got a little bit of moisture there, and go back over these areas. So the nice thing about this, as I said before, is it becomes more of a micro polish when you get it wet. Normally this is a 2 or 3 step process, so you can't cut and then you can't polish in the same step. They're different steps. With this stuff, doing it at home, one product, I'm now cutting the scratch but also polishing the surface at the same time. So once the scratch is removed, and I can already see it starting to disappear as I'm doing this, once the scratch is removed, I'm basically left with an area on this panel that I can throw a bit of wax over. I've taken care of the defect, and when I go over this vehicle on a full cut and polish, a full paint correction, I know I don't have to worry about this area anymore. And the best part is when you look at your vehicle and it's sitting in the garage or sitting on the driveway, you don't have these scratches as you're going to see. Instant gratification right there. We're going to grab the one on the fender too, a little bit of water. you can see the polish break down, the compound, sorry, and it turns into more of a micro polish. Okay, so just to recap, you've applied the product, you've wet your cloth, you've gone back over the area. And I mentioned not being aggressive with it because it is a compound, but with the step of the micro polishing when you wet your rag, don't be afraid to get a little bit, to put some pressure on it, because you are trying to take that scratch out. And normally this is done by a rotary machine and you're trying to do it by hand. So once this hazes up and your product is basically set up, take a clean microfiber, terry towel, whatever you got, and just simply wipe the surface away. Now, you may find that you still see a faint area where the scratch is, but this is already 10 times better than it was. So don't be alarmed. You're gonna repeat the process, and you may have to do this 2 or 3 times, same steps, and to fully remove that scratch and get this clear ready for waxing or seal. We're gonna grab our fender area too, and we're gonna take a look at it. And I can just see a hint of that mark in the fender still, but the white is gone. And I can just see a hint of the 2 scratches in the door panel, but again, the white is gone, and these are way better already. What we're gonna do is we're gonna repeat our process. We're gonna go through our steps again, and we're gonna take one more look at it. Okay, so what we've done here is we've repeated the process a couple times. We're left with our hazed product. It's dried up. It's ready to be wiped down. No magic here. There's no camera tricks. This is a couple applications, and I can definitely see that the scratches are gone. Just to let you know, each step I probably worked 2 to 3 minutes with the compound step, and then a couple minutes with the dampened cloth, and then let it haze up for 4 or 5 minutes. It doesn't take long, especially if it's warmer out. So again, grab your microfiber, your clean microfiber cloth, and just wipe that haze off that area. And you are left with a clean panel. I'm no longer seeing white scratches. It looks like fresh, clean, clear to me, nice and smooth. It's actually ready for wax or sealant. Yeah, that looks great. Looking at that area of the fender, that scratch is gone too. All right, that's about it, guys. Just a quick video for this one, but I hope it helps somebody out there want to tackle your own scratch removal. There's a lot of kits on the market you can buy, but the product that I've shown you and the way that it breaks down with water and turns from a compound into a polish, I think it's pretty unique, and it's one of the better ones out there. So not only will this help you maintain your vehicle in between your detailing visits or whatever it is, or every time you're at the car wash, keeping your vehicle scratch free, swirl free is just one way to keep it looking brand new and extend the life of your paint. So thanks again for watching. I hope this helped some of you out there. We'll catch you in the next one.